All right, thanks, Spencer. Spencer is about to show off the the revisions to the MATLAB integration model with Volttron.
Yes, and there have been a few small changes to the MATLAB agent itself, but the biggest things is it's just gone through some testing, and the documentation is probably the most that has come out of this recent revision. So we'll go over that in a second, but just to go briefly over the capabilities of the MATLAB agent one last time. The way that it works is we have a standalone agent running in a Windows environment, and it is able to communicate across the network to our Volttron platform. The Volttron platform, using the config store and the configuration files, sends script commands, Python scripts, as well as command line arguments to the standalone agent, and the standalone agent then reads in those values and runs those scripts, which in this case the purpose is to run the MATLAB engine from within Python using those command line arguments, and then the results of that are sent back to the message bus. So in this case, this window here is our standalone agent running on my Windows machine, while Volttron is running in the virtual machine, and it's just an Ubuntu virtual machine. In this case, we'll be sending, let's see, we need to so right now none of the agents are running, and the only agent we have installed on the platform is the MATLAB agent. So we'll start this standalone MATLAB agent, and now it's connected to the platform and listening for any kind of input. And so in this case, when we start the agent, it sends the command to our MATLAB window, receives the message, and then the output is sent back into the log file. That's just me. So in this case, that was just a very simple test script. It's in essence just outputting the command line argument. It's not working within MATLAB. However, if you're using the config store, you can send a command, and in this case, just to show briefly, the first config file is only sending command line argument to test script 2. In this case, test script 1, and maybe if I pull those up briefly here. So you can see in this case, test script 2, all it's doing is, in essence, summing all of the arguments together. However, we're only just sending the 120, so it just returns 20. However, in this next case, it will send that value into a MATLAB engine and then output the results. And there we go. In this case, we want config 2. So as you can see in the log, when config 2 is added to the config store, the test message is sent, the new script is sent as well as the argument. In this case, it's still 20 just for arbitrary value. And all the MATLAB script is doing is creating an array of numbers 1 to 100, and then it adds 20 to all of those values. So very, very simple test case. But then those values are sent back into the message bus, and from there you can take it, parse it, and do with it. So that's what the MATLAB script is capable of these days. Nothing too new there. Then the only other addition is now the documentation on how to access it. So the MATLAB agent has been added into the develop branch of Volttron, and from the read the docs page, if you go to developing Volttron and then examples and samples, there's a MATLAB agent tab. And from there, the documentation is available, a brief overview of the MATLAB agent and the agents, the settings, and the scripts that are included in the file, or I'm sorry, in the folders. How to install the appropriate standalone agent in the Windows environment, and then as well as the Linux environment and how to run it. And from there, you can modify the test scripts as you need for your own purposes.
All right.
I think that's everything.
Cool. Thanks. Any questions? Okay. There's no questions. If people give this a try and have any questions, just email volttron@pnnl.gov, and we can walk through anything that you have a question about. All right. I wanted to again mention the Volttron users meeting at the end of August 29th and 30th here in Richland, Washington. It's a chance for everybody to get together, people who are using the platform, people who are developing the platform, people who might be interested in trying out use cases and seeing what they could do with it. This is an opportunity for everybody to get together and hear from each other. The registration link, I have posted that to the Zoom chat, and then there's also another link for submitting an abstract. If you've got research that you'd like to share, we'd like to encourage everyone to go ahead and submit an abstract, and we'll make time for people to talk about what they're doing with the platform, because I think that's the most important thing, is to hear what applications are being built on top of it. So yeah, so posted those again. If you have any questions about that, have any topics that you'd like to make sure get covered, just let me know. And with that, we're concluding the scheduled portion of the Volttron office hours. So I'd like to open it up to any questions people might have, or research that they'd like to discuss. So yeah, any questions that anyone wants to bring up? If not.
Hey, sorry, this is Thomas. I was on mute. Just one question. Can you hear me? Sorry.
Yep, we can hear you.
Okay, thanks. I've got a question with regards to the RabbitMQ installation, the new one. Which kind of message security or message durability are you using on the RabbitMQ bus?
Chandrika, you want to take that one?
Sorry, I didn't realize I was on mute. For the security, we use the standard SSL authentication. So everything goes through SSL communication. So the server starts up with self-signed root CA, and this root CA signs the server certificate, and each agent has its own certificate that's also blessed by the same CA. And for any multi-platform communication, say you have a forward agent that wants to connect to a different Volttron running RabbitMQ, you have to request, you have to create a CSR, which is like certificate signing request, and send that over to the other Volttron instance, and get the forwarder agent's certificate signed by the external Volttron instance root CA. And that process we do have, this can be done using the web. We have web interfaces for that, to do that. So that's how we handle security for it. And, what was the other question? I'm sorry.
Durability.
Yeah, thanks, Chandrika. There was the security stuff, and what about the reliability stuff? I mean, acknowledgement of messages sent and consumed. Can you talk about that a little bit?
I might be a little out of my depth. I think Shweta is the right person, but there is if a topic is not, if something cannot be delivered, there is an alternate exchange to which all the unroutable messages get sent. And that I think is tied to the alert system. Craig, can you correct me if I'm wrong? So you would get an alert, and the topics are anything that's not routable gets routed to an alternate exchange.
I don't believe that it's tied into the alert system. I don't know if the durability settings that we're using allow for any durability of messages on RabbitMQ at this point in time. That is a RabbitMQ setting that I'm not sure that we have.
I don't
configured it right. Okay.
So
Because
I mean,
it's configurable, most definitely, but I don't think we haven't done that yet.
So I think that could be a good topic for a future one. Is
yes, most definitely.
Shweta going over the features of RabbitMQ. Now there was a performance hit with the acknowledgement turn.
That is correct. There is a definite performance hit with acknowledgements of receiving.
Yeah, certainly we can. We'll talk to Shweta about that, and I think that'd make an excellent topic for the next one.
Well, okay, yeah, would be very interesting to hear something about that, if possible, right?
Yep.
So for the time being, I would assume that auto acknowledge is being used, right?
That's correct. Yes, auto acknowledge is being used.
Okay, thanks.
All right. Thank you. Any other questions or research people want to discuss? If not, we will call that a meeting. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Yep.
Thanks. Bye.